Rune Party takes Rune Warriors to the next level as we start diving into hex map campaigns and a host of characters and monsters to make the most of your miniature collection. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll be taking you through Rune Party, the Rune Warriors solo co-op rules. In the previous video we had a good look at the core rules, and you'll need those to go alongside the Rune Party expansion. But let's focus on exactly what comes with this book, and I'll go through in detail exactly what's included to give you a really good idea about the solo and co-op rules and what they entail. So the key features are going to be complete co-op solo rules, AI-controlled enemies and monsters, and a hex-based campaign, and lots more to go with it. Rune Party is the second book in the Rune Warriors series, and after this we're going to be publishing lots more expansions and monster manuals. You've got nice background and introduction, the solo co-op rules, a nice comprehensive section on how to control the monsters, a sneaky rules phase, a monster tome, and then a 16 quest narrative campaign. You're going to get your introduction to Rune Party and an introduction to the monsters and the beasts, and then a little bit extra of the guild, building on what we've already covered in the previous book. For the solo co-op rules, we kept things nice and simple so that most of the rules you need will be on the monster cards themselves. So you're not going to have to keep diving in and out of the book. And it's designed so it's going to be intuitive on how you control them. And we're going to use a series of charts that you can refer to during the game to control the different monsters. So this breaks down just an overview, if you like, of all the rules. And altogether, there's only 6 pages to look through, so there's not an awful lot to read through here, and once you've gone over it once or twice, you're going to be good to start playing. And again, you're going to be referring to the charts and the monster cards most of the time. Got a little breakdown here of what we call monster groups, and when you set up a battle, you'll be deploying the enemy as shown on the different maps, and so your little number there will refer to the number on the map, so you know exactly what monster and how many monsters to place in each location. One thing we really like is when it's time to activate one of the enemies or one of the monsters, you're going to roll and it's going to be a random result. So you never know which enemy is going to activate in which order, and that keeps things really interesting and makes sure each game is different. The monster cards are going to be your main reference as you play the game, and each monster will have its own card with all the weapons it uses, all the characteristics and stats, and most importantly, which AI chart to refer to when you're controlling it. In this case, we've got the Muckling, and that's going to use the Psycho AI chart. And the AI charts are printed in the back of the book, and when you get the PDF, you'll be able to easily get a copy of these two to print off. So if we flick to the back of the book here, you can see that altogether there's 6 different AI charts. One are for duels, so they'll be ranged and a melee weapon, and then you've got melee, ranged, guard, coward, and psycho. So these are going to control how your monsters or enemies are going to react and interact with your warriors during the battle. And it's very simple. We've got like a flowchart system set up, so it sees first of all the state the monster's in when it begins its activation, and then the chart gives you a series of questions with yes/no answers to follow to get the exact move that the monster or enemy should carry out. And of course there's going to be some caveats. Things don't always go completely to plan. There's going to be times you're going to have to step in and play it and act for the monster's best interest and take out the action that is going to be best suited to that monster. That's all explained nicely in the rules. If you're familiar with Rogue Warriors, then you would have played these sneaky rules before. These are the rules that you can play to go up against the enemy in solo mode, and this will kind of give you things like guards and sentries, that kind of thing. And you've got some other cards to print off there at the back of the book, which you can cut out if you want to, and they'll tell you exactly what to do with the enemies and monsters. So very straightforward. You're only talking a few pages here of rules, and then everything you need will be on the cards during gameplay. That's very important to us, so you're not flicking to and fro in the book during gameplay. You can just refer to these cards and keep the action flowing. You'll see at the back of the book there's also some real fun weapons and extra items and potions, things like that, that you can find during the campaign. So you can print those off and then use them as well, give them to each of your character, and you've got another card to refer to, so you don't have to use the different tables. Now we're on to the monster tome, and this breaks down all the monsters that you're going to be using in this particular campaign. And this will be the structure that you'll see going forward with our monster manuals. You'll have a monster on each page, you'll have a little bit of a narrative introduction, and then you'll have the monster card to go with it. You can see here with the Gobbo infantry or archer, they're either going to be melee or range. Here's the muckling that we saw earlier. It will have all the abilities it could do, the AI chart, and what we like here is the favourite action. And in the Muckling's case, it's rush. That's going to want to rush towards the enemy and use that rush action. So it tells you exactly what the monster would like to do, and that also plays in with the narrative of the monster too. Now, you might not have any Mucklings in your collection, but this is where you can be creative and use different things that you've got. I've got different squigs here, a hedgehog, even a little flame demon, so you can really mix it up and choose things that you think will fit in with the narrative and the way the monster behaves. And as we flick through, you see you've got lots of different things here. We're really focusing on goblins for this campaign. It's going to keep things nice and simple. Hopefully everyone's got some goblins in their collection. If not, we've got some great recommends that we'll show you in another video soon. And trolls, you can use all different kinds of trolls for this. And of course, you've got to have a goblin mage there. So we've got some kind of wizard that's going to be controlling things too. On top of the troll, we've got a mud golem, and for this, we like to use things like tree monsters. That works really well, or any kind of rock monster that you've got. But this is really fun to match up the monster to a model and then start being creative and just having fun using your collection and also looking out for individual monsters that you can pick up from different creators. Now we've got our monsters, we can move on to the narrative campaign. So we're going to have in our monster manuals that come out later on many more monsters, but each time we do a monster manual, we will include a hex map campaign very similar to this one. And here you can see there's 16 quests that you can embark on. You have to start with the green hex and you have to finish at the red hex. And you can go in a almost like straight path all the way there, but you can't move on to one hex until you complete the one that you start with. So for example, you could go 1, 4, 6, 9, 13, all the way to 16, or you can go back and forward doing all the different hexes and completing all the quests if you want to, and then that's going to give you a chance to get lots of special items, build up your gold so you can buy awesome new weapons and armor as well. So there's lots of options. You don't have to follow any particular path and you can really explore the whole area and work through every quest if you want to. So you could have 16 different sessions just from this one campaign alone. And each quest is going to be laid out with a bit of narrative that builds on the story. Then you've got all the details, you've got your map, you know exactly which monsters to place, where to put them, and then once they're in place, you'll just be using your monster cards and those AI charts to decide how they interact during the battle. Loads of different quests here, make it really fun. We've mixed up the scenarios so you've got lots to do and each one's going to feel very different. You've even got a merchant to visit in one particular area and you can buy new weapons, potions, some more familiars, and each time we bring out one of the monster manuals, you'll find that there'll always be a different merchant with more themed items that you can purchase. And you'll also find that some of these quests that we've included will include the sneaky phase rules. So it gives you another style of play and then you can really mix things up. As things get closer towards quest 16 and the red quest, you're going to get tougher enemies, more of them, and then also bigger rewards as well. So you can find some really interesting items. And then once you get to the final quest 16, it's the showdown. That's when things really kick off. And that brings us now nicely to the back of the book where we've got all those references that you can print off. The templates are in there for the different phases, a few tokens as well, and that's everything you need to play Rune Warriors in solo or co-op mode. We love playing in solo and co-op, and with all the monsters included, it really opens the game up from the PvP style with those core rules to something that's really immersive. And with these two books, you've literally got limitless quests that you can develop yourself. And as the monster manuals roll out for the different regions of Runaria, you're just going to have a host of monsters and enemies to do battle against. And one of the main things we wanted to do with the game was really be heavy on the character creation. So when you're creating your own warriors for your party, you can just use your entire collection and really focus in on what you've got and then start picking out cool new models you might want to add to the collection and then design them yourself using the rules in the core book. And the same goes for monsters. You can start designing your own monsters as well. So you're going to have loads of options. If you want to take on a horde of goblins that are going to swarm you or a big dragon, you can do those and anything in between. So I hope you found this video helpful and it's given you a good idea about what's included in the solo co-op rules. Check out the previous video where I went through Rune Warriors, and that's the core rules you need for the game. You will need both of these if you want to play solo and co-op, but if you only want to play PvP, then you only need to get the Rune Warriors core book. Stoneheart is the next expansion, so that'll be the first monster manual that will follow after Rune Party, so that should be available in April, so we're really looking forward now. We're back on schedule and can't wait to share that with you. But I hope this has been a good introduction for you to get a nice idea about Rune Warriors, what it's all about. Now, if you've got any questions, please add those in the comments down below. I'll do my best to answer them, and look out for more videos as we start posting them and really adding lots more content for the game on our YouTube channel now. If you'd like to find out more about Rune Warriors and Rune Party, they're both available to purchase as either PDFs or as printed copies, and they're available on our website and through Amazon. I'll put a link down below in the description and comments so you can easily find them, along with some other free downloads too. And look out for that link to the Create a Warrior video at the end of this video as well. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it gave you a good introduction to the game. Look out for lots more to come. But for now, thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you here next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games.